This just in, Joker 2 found dead at the box office. Cause of death, a much better Killer Clown movie came out. Terrifier 3 is a brand new 2024 horror film directed by Damien Leone, starring Lauren Levera and David Howard Thornton. And I'm gonna be honest, this was probably my most anticipated movie of the year. I enjoyed Terrifier 1, but I absolutely loved Terrifier 2. When I first reviewed it, I gave it like an 8 out of 10, I think. But the past couple of years, it's been raised to a 9 out of 10. Let's be real with each other. Yeah, I absolutely loved Terrifier 2. So I was 100% down for Terrifier 3. We finally got some production on it. The poster that was first released with Art wearing Santa's face as an apron in front of a Christmas tree. I was super hyped for this. I followed the production very closely. I follow David Howard Thornton, Lauren Levera, and Damien Leone on all social media. I wanted to meet them last year at my local horror con, but I got sick the day I was supposed to go. So that didn't happen. Maybe they'll be there in another year, but yeah, I was very excited for this movie. So let's go ahead and start this review off with the good. And this, just like Terrifier 2, is just an absolute blast of a film. First off, with the performances, obviously you got to talk about David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown. He was easily the standout of the first Terrifier, which, like I said, I liked, but it wasn't one of my favorites of all time like I was hoping it would be. But I still really liked it, and David Howard Thornton was easily the best part. Come Terrifier 2, he was easily cementing himself as one of the greatest slashers of all time. Not just modern day, but counting all the classics as well. And this movie easily cements him, one of the greatest slashers of all time. Honestly, he's probably the most evil of all the horror villains I have ever seen across my film-loving career. I absolutely love what David Howard Thornton does with this character. He's absolutely vile, wicked, and evil, but he's got that silly charm to him as well, and I just really love how David Howard Thornton's able to do that with a character this sinister. He's chopping someone up at one point, and then the next moment he's acting all silly, sitting on Santa's lap, spitting whiskey in Santa's face like a little kid having their first drink. Absolutely fantastic performance from David Howard Thornton. He deserves all the awards for this performance. Then you have Lauren Levera as Sienna returning from the second one. And with Terrifier 2, she was easily becoming one of my favorite final girls of all time. And just like with David Howard Thornton as Art, this movie absolutely cements her as one of the greatest of all time. She is absolutely phenomenal in this role. I really love the arc she goes through, how she's obviously traumatized from the events of the second movie, and she's even seeing visions of her dead friends that Art butchered in the previous movie. Yeah, I just really love the survivor's guilt that she goes through. Lauren Levera really gives her all into that performance, and I really love how she really steps up and takes charge against Art in this movie, just like she did in the second movie, but she does it even more so here. She just kicks ass. Probably one of the most badass final girls ever. I absolutely love her performance here. Then we have another returning character who was really only a cameo in the second one, but you get Samantha Scafidi as Vicky in this movie. She was the unfortunate final girl in the first movie. If you've seen the first movie, you know that Art pretty much rips her face off. And it's teased in the second one that she's more likely in love with Art in a really messed up sort of way. She fully comes into her role in this movie as Art's sidekick, I guess you could say. I really liked her performance as Vicky in this movie. She was kind of one note in the first one, and in the second one, like I said, she was kind of just a cameo, but she's really allowed to spread her wings in this movie and just go full on psycho. I really loved her performance as this character. And then aside from the characters, you get a really good, interesting story here. It's just Art terrorizing the town around Christmas time. And I know this is a weird movie to say this about, but I was strangely nostalgic watching this movie. Just seeing the portrayal of old-fashioned Christmas before it became completely corporate, before all the blank colors, what Christmas is now, basically. This took me back to the Christmas of my childhood when I would get off school for Christmas break. You'd watch Polar Express before going home for Christmas. It was just a nostalgic time, and this movie made me nostalgic for that time. Weirdly enough to say about a Terrifier movie, yes, but I just really love the Christmas setting here, and you get some pretty damn good explorations as to what Art is, what drives him, what the spirit of that pale girl from the previous movie was. You get some good explanations, and that was actually one of my nitpicks with Terrifier 2 when I first reviewed it, was we don't really get any explanation as to what Art is, what the girl was. We get more explanation in here, so that kind of negates my issues with Terrifier 2 to bring it up to the 9 out of 10 that I mentioned. But yeah, I really love the exploration of Art's character and the lore behind Art. And you even get a couple scenes where you get to get introduced to Sienna's dad. Really liked seeing that there. And I know what a lot of people are coming here for. How was the gore? How were the kills? Messed up. They were very, very messed up in this movie. You thought that the bedroom scene in Terrifier 2 was going to be the peak. Get ready for that shower scene in this movie, because whew, yeah, that was a trip. Yeah, the gore and the kills here are absolutely fantastic. I feel like they absolutely pushed the envelope as to what they can get away with a wide theatrical release here. Shout out to the practical effects department here. They absolutely nailed it. The gore effects are fantastic. You see the carnage, the guts, just so damn well made in this movie. Yeah, this is a very, very messed up, twisted movie. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If there were any lines that this movie hadn't crossed yet, trust me, they crossed those lines here. And I know a lot of people were talking about, well, if this happens in this movie, I'm not going to watch it. I'm sorry, but some lines were already crossed that some people are talking about back in All Hallows Eve. If you know your Terrifier franchise, you know All Hallows Eve was the first of the Terrifier films. So, yeah, there were a lot of lines crossed in this movie. The score is fantastic. Really love the score here. And the soundtrack is really great as well. You get a really catchy new messed up Christmas song here. I really hope that they release it soon. Yeah, that's about all for the good on so bad. And there's a couple things here that I wasn't super huge on. First of all, the use of Jonathan, played by Elliot Fulham. I didn't mind him in Terrifier 2, but I was really hoping for more of a role for him here, exploring his character more, possibly him and Sienna becoming a a badass clown slaying brother-sister duo. I don't know if Elliot Fulham was just too busy to commit to a big role here, but he's not in it a whole lot, and I was a little disappointed in that. And also, like I was talking about with some of the lines that were crossed here, some of them bordered a little too much on, okay, this is a little too much for me personally, but that's about it for the bad. So on to final thoughts. I still really loved this movie. This is another solid entry into the Terrifier franchise. I really am excited for Terrifier 4 now, especially how this movie ended. So, yeah, Terrifier 3 was a bloody, fun, gore-filled time. I will be buying it on Blu-ray. I will be rewatching it along with the rest of the franchise, and I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. That was my thoughts on Terrifier 3. Have you seen this movie yet? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it if you have seen it. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.